Everyone thinks life needs sunlight to thrive. In the deepest oceans, it's quietly doing the opposite. 2 miles beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean, where no light has ever reached, something extraordinary is happening in absolute silence. Coral colonies older than human civilizations are growing, millimeter by millimeter, in a world of crushing pressure and perpetual cold. These aren't the vibrant, sun-drenched reefs we imagine when we picture coral. They are something far more patient, far more strange, and infinitely more ancient. For most of human history, we didn't know these reefs existed at all. It wasn't until the mid-20th century, when submarines and deep-sea cameras finally ventured into the abyss, that we caught our first glimpses of these hidden worlds. What we found challenged everything we thought we understood about how life organizes itself, how it builds community, and how it persists against odds that seem utterly impossible. Deep-sea corals grow in the bathyal and abyssal zones, the twilight realm and the complete darkness below. Here, temperatures hover just above freezing year-round. Pressure reaches thousands of pounds per square inch. Oxygen is scarce. Food is scarcer still. And yet, life has found a way not just to survive, but to build cities of astonishing complexity. The coral itself, those delicate, branching structures you see in the footage, is composed of thousands of individual polyps, each a tiny animal barely larger than a pinhead. They're related to the tropical corals, but they've evolved in radically different ways. Where shallow corals rely on symbiotic algae and sunlight to fuel their growth, deep-sea corals are heterotrophs. They catch what little food drifts down from the world above. That food arrives in the form of marine snow, a constant, gentle rain of organic particles, dead plankton, and fecal matter sinking from the sunlit surface. It takes weeks or months for these particles to descend through the water column. By the time they reach the deep-sea corals, they're sparse, fragmented, almost ghostly. Yet the corals have learned to be extraordinarily efficient at capturing and consuming whatever reaches them. Growth in this environment is measured in millimeters per year. Some deep-sea corals add less than 1/10 of a millimeter to their skeletons annually. A coral colony that might be the size of your hand could be 500 years old. The largest specimens ever discovered are thought to be 4,000 years old, older than the pyramids, growing all the while in absolute darkness, utterly unknown to the world above. These reefs are not solitary structures. They form dense, interconnected communities that span hundreds of meters along the ocean floor. The coral provides the scaffold, but the ecosystem that builds around it is what transforms these structures into something alive in a way that goes beyond the individual animals. Sponges attach themselves to the branches. Mollusks burrow into crevices. Small crustaceans establish territories. Fish hover in the shadows. Each creature in this community has adapted in ways that seem almost impossible when you first learn about them. Fish have lost the ability to produce certain pigments because color is meaningless in the dark. Many have developed bioluminescence instead, the ability to create light through chemical reactions. Some corals themselves glow faintly, though scientists still aren't entirely certain why. The entire ecosystem exists in a constant, subtle conversation of light and chemistry. What makes deep-sea coral reefs truly remarkable, though, is their fragility paired with their resilience. These organisms reproduce slowly. They reach sexual maturity late. Many release eggs and sperm only once or twice a year, during specific seasons that we're still learning to predict. The larvae that do develop drift for weeks in the currents before settling, and most never find suitable habitat. Survival rates are measured in the tiniest fractions. Yet they persist. They've persisted through ice ages, through mass extinction events, through millions of years of environmental upheaval. A 4,000-year-old coral colony has weathered more change than most species ever will. It has survived through nothing but quiet continuation, one microscopic increment at a time, asking nothing of the world except to be left undisturbed. In recent decades, we've learned that these reefs face unprecedented threats. Deep-sea fishing trawlers, dragging nets across the ocean floor, can destroy a 1,000-year-old coral colony in seconds. Warming oceans and changing currents alter the flow of nutrients. Pollution reaches even these isolated worlds. And because we're only just beginning to understand them, we don't yet know how much damage they can sustain before they are gone entirely. The tragedy is that most of us will never see these places. We'll never descend to the depths where they grow. We'll never witness the slow, patient work of a coral polyp building its skeleton or watch the bioluminescent creatures that depend on these reefs for survival. The deep ocean remains, in so many ways, as alien and unknown as another planet entirely. And yet, understanding them changes something in us. Knowing that in the darkness below, life is quietly building worlds, creating structure, establishing relationships, persisting through hardship with nothing but patience and time, it reminds us that resilience takes many forms. Not all strength is loud. Not all growth is visible. Some of the most profound persistence happens in places we'll never go, in ways we can barely comprehend. The deep-sea corals will continue their work whether we watch or not. They'll continue to grow, millimeter by millimeter, year by year, century by century. They'll continue to build their hidden cities in the absolute darkness, asking nothing of us except perhaps, if we're wise, that we leave them be. That we recognize that not every wonder needs to be exploited, not every frontier needs to be conquered. There's something deeply restful in that thought, isn't there? In knowing that there are places on this planet, vast, intricate, alive, that exist entirely separate from human urgency, where time moves differently, where patience is the only currency that matters, where life continues, quietly and beautifully in the eternal darkness, asking nothing but to be allowed to persist. As you drift towards sleep tonight, perhaps imagine those coral gardens far below the waves. Imagine the slow, patient work happening in the darkness. Imagine the small creatures, the gentle rain of nutrients, the ancient colonies that have been building their world since before your country existed. Let that patience settle into you. Let that quiet persistence become your own. Subscribe for more journeys into the world's quietest, most persistent places, new stories every week.